Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Expansion. So last video we left off from the Treaty of Taipei after the fall of China. In this video we shall be discussing what happens after that. So right after that we have Russia declaring war on Moldova. And we have Russian forces entering on all sides just like they did in Ukraine, capturing the country's capital pretty easily and swarming all whatever military that Moldova had. Eventually, Moldova completely falls to Russia. And we have Moldova being annexed into Russia. So a few weeks after the war, we have Russia gaining even more land. And that land is a unification between Russia and the Central Asian states. Now they did this because Central Asia was becoming frightened of India's growing power and the fact that China was gone which was one of their greatest allies. And so in order for protection, they entered into the Russian Federation. So immediately after the unification between Russia and Central Asia, we have another war breaking out. And that war is between Israel and Egypt, and Palestine. The reason for this war is because Egypt has been crushing any hopes of Palestinian independence and not allowing any Palestinian state. So in order to create Palestine, they declared war. Egypt declared war on Israel along with Syria. So let's get into the war. So we have Egyptian forces entering into southern Israel. Now I know this invasion might not go great. Israel is one of the hardest countries to invade. But right now Egypt is the 12th strongest military in the world. So this invasion might go good for them. Then again, Israel has nuclear weapons, so it might not also go great for them. But since we need to get into it and I don't have a lot of time, let's just assume that Israel just gets overwhelmed. They get completely overwhelmed by Egyptian forces. This was a big surprise attack after all. So Israel just gets crushed. They barely managed to give up any resistance. Egypt has modernized military, get funded by Russia, and Israel just gets destroyed and they eventually surrender. In the end, we have Egypt gaining southern Israel, Syria gaining northern Israel, and Palestine gaining the rest of Israel. And the United States and its NATO allies are not happy about this. So they decide to sanction Egypt and Syria. But that doesn't really work since they're trading with Iran and they're trading with Russia. And so the sanctions are working a little. They're tanking the Egyptian economy a little bit, but not that much. So Israel has just been defeated and the United States has lost one of its allies. But once again, we have another war breaking out in Africa. And that war is between Morocco and the Western Sahara. But since the Western Sahara is allies with Algeria and Mauritania, they declare war on Morocco, which is not good for Morocco since they're not really that powerful military. So let's get into it. We do see Moroccan forces cross into the border and start pushing back Polisario Front forces. Start pushing back the Polisario Front. If you don't know what the Polisario Front is, it's basically the guerrilla organization that's trying to work towards Western Saharan independence. But they're getting pushed back. But Morocco also loses land because Algeria is like the 30th strongest military, the 31st strongest military, I don't know. I think they're like the 31st strongest military. They are way more powerful than Morocco. And Morocco starts to collapse, and Mauritanian forces also start to arrive, and the Polisario fronts of Mauritania and some Algerian forces start to push back Morocco. And the war is not going great for them. Eventually all Moroccan forces in Western Sahara get pushed back, and another push is made through Western Sahara into Morocco. Algeria makes a spearhead, they capture the capital, and in the end, Morocco surrenders. surrenders. And in the following peace treaty, we have the West, the Polisario Front, finally creating the SDAR, or Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, SADR, so the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, the SADR, and gaining land from Morocco, as well as Algeria getting a lot of land from Morocco as well, which severely weakens the country. In Africa, we have another unification happening, and that unification is between the two Congos, the Democratic Republic of the Congo and the normal Republic of the Congo. We also have them buying this little exclave of Angola, to gain some more coast, so that they can begin trading with the outside world and start using their extreme amount of resources in like this region right here to their advantage, and improving their economy and improving the living standards. Once again, we have another war breaking out in Africa, and that war is between Ethiopia and Eritrea. The reason, because Ethiopia wants a coast. They want to start trading with the outside world, and they want to improve their naval skills and their overall military. So let's get into the war. So we have Ethiopian forces taking a spearhead and splitting Eritrea into two. Very easy, because Eritrea is a fairly thin country. They go and they capture the entirety of southern Eritrea and push up, and they get to the much wider part, but that still doesn't help them. And Eritrea gets to push back. The capital is captured, and eventually Eritrea surrenders. And in the end, in the following peace treaty, they completely annex all of Eritrea. And they also buy Djibouti in order to gain more access to the outside world, because all of their coast is in the Red Sea, but Djibouti has a coast right here in the Indian Ocean, which gives them more access to the outside world, and they can't be so easily blocked, although this little choke point right here can be easily blocked. But this is between Yemen and Somalia, and we all know how well those two countries are doing. But I think that's going to be it for today. If you like this video, please like below and comment below if you have any more things to say, and please subscribe. Helps to grow the channel. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.